Honestly, have no idea where to start. You've never even done YouTube before, Nia. So what? Let me figure it out. Is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. Okay. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, it's fine, because so am I. My name is Nia Monet, and I am a designer. I am also an artist, and right now I am on the road to creative recovery. I have been wanting to start a YouTube channel for probably longer than I'm willing to admit, and as I'm going through this process of creative recovery, I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to start my channel and to share my journey of creative recovery and what that looks like. I work as a women's apparel designer corporately, and I am an artist within my own on the side, and I am just feeling a little burnt out. Since I am new to corporate creativity and all that it entails and what it looks like in the real world, I have been finding it to be difficult for me personally. I have been finding the creativity that I know to have to be very put in a box and very, honestly, just hard to deal with. And I have seen it kind of trickle into my personal creativity. And what I don't want to do is that. What I don't want to do is to have this mindset of just like everything has to be so tick, tick, tick boxed in that it affects the way that I think and the way that I create on my own. How am I doing my creative recovery? I am doing it with The Artist Way. I've seen so many people talk about this book, so many people that work creatively on their own or side hobbies, or just in general that have a sense of identity with creativity. I've seen review this book. This book was actually gifted to me around the time that I came into corporate America, which was 3 years ago, and me moving into the Bay Area. So I have had this book for 3 years now, and I'm just now really taking it seriously. I have read it off and on, and I honestly never made it past the introduction, and maybe honestly it just wasn't time. I've seen some other people review this book and say you need to read it when, one, you have the time to read it, and two, when you're ready, like when you're just ready to take in all the knowledge and all the information is when you're ready. I have hit that point. I've hit that point to where I'm ready to take it all in. I'm ready to become my most creative self and really tap into the creative being that I know that I can be. Especially when you're working in corporate, creativity can look a lot different, and that's honestly something that I could spend some time talking about on my channel later on, is that the creativity that I have at work and the creativity that I have at home, they do have some overlap, but there are a lot of things, because I spend so much time at my job, that kind of trickle over into my personal that I don't necessarily want to trickle over into my personal. When it comes to just certain habits and certain ways of thinking, I'm having a hard time personally finding that balance and finding that disconnect, because I consider myself creative in everything that I do, since, it's something that I do at my job, it's something that I do on my own. So how do I find that happy medium between the two that is sustainable for me and is not detrimental to who I am as a creative in either facet? I just wanted to take you guys on my journey with it week by week. It is a 12-week course. I want to share the journey, and honestly it's probably also going to help me hold myself accountable to doing the 12 weeks. Like I said, I've only ever gone not past the introduction, and I have made it past the introduction. Love that. We love growth. So yeah, I just wanted to share my week 1 with you guys and what I have basically just learned, not only from the book but about myself, and just sharing that. I do want to preface that if you're interested in reading The Artist Way, before you even start to read it, you need to read the introduction. The introduction sets the premise of what The Artist Way is, what to expect, and the basic tools that you'll need throughout the 12-week course and even beyond that. And 2 of the basic tools that Julia Cameron speaks about in The Artist Way is your morning pages and your artist date, and how instrumental they are to this 12-week course. This is the journal that I've been using for my morning pages. And basically what your morning pages are is that when you wake up, you write 3 complete pages of just full train of thought. It could be literally anything. Like, it doesn't have to be profound, it doesn't have to make sense. It's literally just a way for you to just mind dump everything that is on your mind as soon as you wake up. And I know that some people do struggle with morning pages because they may not have a ton of things to think about or to say, but as somebody that thinks a lot as soon as I open my eyes, and even if I don't even feel like I'm thinking a lot, as soon as I start writing and I just start writing random things that's rattling off in my brain, it'll eventually lead to something else. I have completed my week of morning pages and it has been very interesting. It's very interesting to see, again, like where my train of thought can go, especially like just early in the morning, because I've been waking up at 5 a.m. to complete my morning pages before work. And it's just so interesting how it's just like you just got out of bed, you're groggy. There's probably not a lot that you want to talk about. And I've written that in my morning pages of just like, I do not feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to write anything. I don't even know what's going on in my mind. I just woke up. And again, the more and more I keep writing, the more and more things just started flowing and things started coming to me. So yeah, that's one of the basic tools of the artist day is your morning pages. And then the second part that is a basic tool is the artist date. So the artist date is something that you are supposed to do every week. So morning pages you do every single day, every morning when you wake up. Your artist date is something that you do every week. So every week you are supposed to take your little artist, which is your inner artist, on a date of undivided attention. So you don't take your friend, you don't take your man, the most you could probably take is your dog or something if you're going for a walk. But other than that, you are supposed to set aside time to completely unplug from everything and just take yourself out on a date. I did spend my first week, I did take myself on a date, which I will clip in here of what that looked like and what I did. And the artist date is supposed to open up your aperture, open up yourself to inspiration, to ideas, and just kind of, get yourself out there. It's a way for you to get yourself out there and to just do something different. Even if it's something that isn't like extensive, like you don't spend the day out somewhere and you spend your time just doing something. Maybe it's something that you've been looking forward to doing and you just felt like you didn't have the time or you didn't set aside the time and this is like your designated time to do so. You can do that. Like, it doesn't have to be anything super, super crazy. It's just literally set aside dedicated time for you and your inner artist to convene with each other, have a moment, and explore, inspire, and just open yourself up to just different possibilities and ideas. Okay, y'all, I feel like I've had enough fun for today. Where have I been? I've been to Emeryville, where I stopped in Barnes & Nobles, and Barnes & Nobles, still love that store. Like, I've loved it for since I was little. Like, I used to beg my mom to take me to, it wasn't Barnes & Nobles though, it was called something else. Oh my gosh, what was it called? If y'all remember what Barnes & Nobles used to be called when we were younger, let me know, because oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. I have to look this up. Oh my gosh, hold on. I think it still starts with a B. there was like another bookstore that got bought out. Oh my gosh. Was it always Barnes & Noble? I feel like there was like another name. Borders. Yes, that's what it is. I used to beg my mom to take me to Borders all the time because I don't know. I used to be such a bookworm, and now I feel like it takes me so long to finish a book. Like, it's that phone. But what mama always said. I'm trying to get back into the habit of like reading more and just like not doom scrolling and really just like not even like watching TV. I just want to, I don't know, just read a lot more, just take in information. So yes, anyway, went to Barnes & Noble, got a few things. I just felt like it was just a good way for me to get back in touch with like things that I used to find enjoyment in as a kid. And I don't know, it just, going as an adult and going by myself, it just made me feel like a little girl again. And the world is my oyster. I have big girl money now, so I can get whatever I want. Outside of the two basic tools of morning pages and your artist date, you will read the chapter. Usually you would probably want to read the chapter in the beginning of your week so you understand what it is you're supposed to be focused on. There are tasks at the end of the chapter that you are supposed to do for that week. So it's better for you to read the chapter in the beginning of the week and then do your tasks, throughout the week, so that you're able to completely like fulfill everything and make time for your morning pages, make time for your artist date, and make time for the weekly tasks that are in the chapter. Plus, it just gives you a better idea of where your mind should be that week and what it is that you could be focusing on. For week 1, it is a chapter on recovering a sense of safety. Something that Julia likes to compare ourselves to as a creative or an inner artist is that of a child. And the child, it needs nurturing, it needs attention, it needs you, basically. And the less and less you give to it, the less and less it's going to do, and the less and less it's going to be apparent, because it's not getting the nurturing, it's not getting the attention that it needs, and it's not getting all of you, it's not getting any of you, honestly. What I've gathered from recovering a sense of safety within week 1 is allowing that inner artist, that little artist that sits on the inside of you, giving them safe haven, giving them a safe place to think, giving them a safe place to create, giving them a safe place to use their imagination in the best way possible. One of the things that she points out is that this idea of a shadow artist and how many people in life in general do walk around as a shadow artist. How she describes what a shadow artist is basically a person that knows innately that they want to act upon this like creative space and creative mindset, but chooses not to, and essentially chooses a career that kind of works hand in hand of that creative thing that they want to do. So for example, if you have a fiction writer, that I know this is an example that she uses, if you have a fiction writer or somebody that aspires to be a fiction writer may choose a career of a newspaper editor or an advertiser, because it has certain ideals or certain characteristics that go hand in hand with each other, but they're just a little bit afraid to step out on that actual like artistic, creative edge that is seen as less sensible. And I read a little blurb from the book. Too intimidated to become artists themselves, very often too low in self-worth to even recognize that they have an artistic dream, these people become shadow artists instead. Artists themselves, but ignorant to their true identity. Shadow artists are to be found shadowing declared artists. She also talks about this idea of audacity and how the difference between people sometimes isn't talent, it's just the audacity to be able to put ourselves out there, the audacity to try, and just to have the audacity to want to step out creatively. That separates people from, what it is that they choose to do. So like I was saying, shadow artists choose shadow careers, which is a job that is kind of parallel to what it is that they're wanting. That was so country. A career that is parallel to what it is that they want to do creatively, so they have that sense of that creative edge, but not to its fullest potential and not to its entirety. And she also talks about how a lot of this comes from things that we're told, things that we're taught, things that are kind of put on us, of just like artistic careers are not as sensible artistic careers, that whole thing of like the starving artists that we always, hear about, and it's not, the most sustainable thing, it's not the best in terms of money, all these things that we're told, and then we kind of take them on and hold on to them for however long. And she talks about, at least within week 1, of writing those things down, of like, where did you learn these things? Where did they come from? And how to basically attack them and take them down as things that you take on within yourself and with your own creativity, because that is something that is blocking you. It's something that's blocking your creativity, and you're wondering why you feel so creatively blocked and why you can't get past certain points. She's starting to help you to break down those walls and break down those ideals that you've been taught, that you've taken on as your own, or just, again, things that have been said, and again, you take them on for yourself, and allowing you to be slowly become unblocked, to allow yourself to play, to allow yourself to create, and allow that space for your inner artist child to be nurtured. Another thing that she talks about is protecting your artist child from within, and she compares our creativity to that as like learning how to walk. And it's very interesting, this concept of like, if you think about your creativity and learning how to walk, if you think about a baby learning to walk, or a small, like an animal learning to walk, let's think of like Bambi, right? You think of Bambi like learning to walk, and how in the beginning it's not the prettiest, it's not the nicest thing, but eventually it becomes what it's supposed to be, and it becomes something innate, and it becomes beautiful. And we should look at our creativity like that in the same way, is that in order for you to produce great art, you have to produce bad art. In order for you to produce great photography, you have to produce bad photography. In order for you to produce good music or great music, you have to produce bad music. And the more and more we come into this idea of we have to look at our creativity as if it's like this entirely new thing, and something that we have to, again, nurture and tend to, then we kind of take those blocks away of everything has to be perfect, everything has to go a certain way, everything has to be done in some kind of way of maybe what we're comparing to what we see other people do, what we see other artists do. And they're, at level 50 when we're only at level 1. And the more and more that we come into agreement with where we currently are, and not comparing it to where somebody else's journey is, because they also started where you are, the more you unblock yourself, if you become a little bit more free in your own process, because you're able to just see yourself as you're going along this journey, and not you're already perfect or you're already at a certain point as soon as you start. It's funny because she also compares it to marathon training. And if you know anything about marathon training, it takes time. It's something that there's levels to it. You can't just go straight out the gate running 10 miles. You need to build your endurance, you need to build your mindset, you need to build your body in order to get you to that stage of being able to run a marathon. And honestly, I can speak from experience. I ran my first half marathon this year. Never been a runner in my life, never ran cross country, any of that. This year was my first year truly running, and it was literally out on a limb. It was very random, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot of just like training and endurance, and how much it takes to get you to a point mentally to be able to know and feel confident that you're able to complete something like this, because it is a very big mind game. Like, yes, it is definitely physical, and trust me, I know it's physical, but it's just as mental as it is physical. So for her to compare it, or creative recovery, to that of a marathon definitely helps to put it into perspective of that there's levels and it takes steps. And the more and more that we try to rush our steps, the less and less effective that this recovery is going to be. The more and more that we try to get to a certain point that somebody else may be at, the less and less we fall in love with our own journey, and the less and less we become effective in our creativity. The last 2 points that she points out, that one of them being a block and the other one being a way to unblock, is your core negative beliefs and then the allies of having affirmations to outdo those core negative beliefs. What are your core negative beliefs? Your core negative beliefs are those little things, those tiny things in the back of your mind that tell you you're not good enough, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't have the resources, blah, 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 nag, 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 nag. And they start to pile up. They start to pile up the more experiences that you have, the more that you maybe get jaded by the world, and if they pile up, the longer you don't address them and the longer you don't see them being a problem to your creativity. And I know that it's something as creatives that we kind of know, like we have that nagging voice in the back of our minds of all the negative things or imposter syndrome, but the less and less we give life to that, and the less and less we give life to even those words on our creativity, the less and less effective they become. Also points out that a lot of our core beliefs also come from a place of being comfortable. They come from a place of knowing exactly what we're feeling, knowing exactly where we are, because the moment we step out of that comfort and the moment that we step into something new and step into that unknown, because we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what's going to go on, it becomes a downward spiral in our minds because we just have no control over anything. But the thing that we can control is knowing that we're stuck. Huh? It's a weird thing. It's such a weird thing that she even points out, is because we know that we're stuck and sometimes we get comfortable in that, we're less effective, and we don't move on to the next thing, or we don't try because we're more comfortable being stuck, knowing that we're stuck, than the unknown of something else. Kind of have to make the conscious decision within ourselves to want to get unstuck, to want to see what's on the other side of the unknown, to want to dive headfirst into it and not be afraid of it. And the moment we confront these negative truths, wherever they may come from, they may come from your parents, from your friends, from social media, from teachers, from literally anything in the world. The moment you're able to pinpoint where it comes from, the more you're able to attack it from its root and not just what's on the surface. If you can attack it from its root, the more and more effective you are at being able to tack it down and give the ally, which is the next point, into having a positive affirmation spoken into that negative core belief. She talks about in the introduction of your negative thing that speaks to you is your censor. Your censor is what keeps you from doing anything. It's what keeps you quiet. It's what keeps your gifts suppressed. It's what keeps everything that you know that you want to do in a box that you don't want to open, that you're afraid of opening, because it tells you all the negative things about what you don't have, what you can't do, just all these negative things that are not necessarily true. But it keeps you from going forward. The moment that you're able to take a negative core belief and match it with a positive affirmation is the moment that you're able again to attack it from its root. And you're able to speak positively into the negative things that it innately will then turn into a positive, or at least shift your mindset into thinking more positively about yourself and about your creativity, to where it's not keeping you stuck and it's not stifling you in your ideas and where you want to be and what you want to create. And in being able to tackle your negative core beliefs with affirmations, you're then creating a space for your inner creative, your inner child artist to feel safe, because you're giving them a safe place to be, you're giving them a safe place to think, you're giving them a safe place to be able to create without limits and without negative thoughts being pushed upon them, and without this idea that they have to have it all together. Honestly, week 1 for me has been so eye-opening and so transformative in the way that I see myself, the way that I see my inner creative, which honestly, personally works very hand in hand in who I feel like I am as an artist, or at least like what I am coming into as an artist and what I feel like is like my niche or my calling in creating art, is creating environments and creating artworks that kind of put the person, the viewer, into these environments of imagination, into childlike states, from looking at the pieces or just being, again, engulfed in the environment. So it's honestly working hand in hand with how Julia is describing our inner artist as a child. And so seeing myself as that little Nia, as that little girl that loved art, that loved to read, that loved anything creative, but never truly saw it as a job or saw it as something that was sustainable or saw it as something that was sensible as a career, which I have obviously later found out not to be true. It's definitely shifted my mindset to be able to put myself back into that place of imagination and back into that place of play and back into that place of who little Nia was and how she had no limits, how she had no jadedness from the world, how she was just all in, all open, and just ready to conquer the world in whichever way that she saw fit. So yeah, that is week 1 of the reading. I'm going to include just some clips of my artist date and just some other things that kind of went on during the week. Hopefully, as each week goes on, I can include a little bit more as I get comfortable with YouTube and recording things. And yeah, I'm honestly so excited for this journey. And again, if you're new here, it's okay, so am I hope you stay, and I hope that we can go on this journey together. So I will see you guys on the next episode as I get into week 2 of The Artist's Way. I hope you guys will join me. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and yeah, super excited to be on this journey with you guys.